Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
She is somebody that can provide you insight, maybe closure, a lot of different things from the other side, the spirit world, because she gets messages for the soul. And she is back with us. Diane Gauthier is along here. What do we call you? What would be your title? There are mediums, there are psychics, messenger.
A messenger.
A messenger?
Yeah, messenger is really what sticks with me because it's really what I do. Then people will ask me, yes, but, because I keep saying I'm not a fortune teller. But then again, when you receive messages, it helps you with your future. Okay?
Gotcha.
So when I do a full reading for a person, yes, they do have cues on what's coming for them. If they choose, me, I always say it's like you're in a train. And if you like what I'm saying within my reading, you like what I'm saying to you, well, stick in your train and this is where you're going. So at that point, it's like fortune telling, if you wish, in a bit, But then where the messenger comes in, it's when you don't like what I'm saying, then you will get ways for you to do some changes. And so whatever is coming on for you, you have the ability. This is where the messenger comes in. You got the ability to do changes where these things will not come in, or let's say you're getting divorced regardless. But if I'm telling you, yes, you are getting divorced, but watch for this, this, and this, and when it comes, you're first of all prepared. Second of all, the pill is easier to swallow. And some things, yes, you could change, So in that sense.
So it's when we say fortune telling, it's really telling the future.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a cousin like that. I have a cousin that described me, my man, before I ever met him. She described me, she told me, watch your car, you will do a flat. Watch for your car. And I swear to God, a month later, I had a flat on my car. That's for me as a fortune teller. Me, it's your soul. What's inside of you? What needs healing? What needs closures? A lot of times, this is what people come and see me for.
And is it coming from, when you get the messages, is it actually coming from the cards? Is it coming from the other side? Is it a combination of both?
I will say the cards are my crutch. I will say it openly. I've been doing it before without any cards for years. When I decided to do it professionally, if you wish, in a certain way, I choose to get cards. Why? Because I freak people out. So by me having cards in front of me, well, reassures me in a way and calms people down in the other way. Last week there was something, I can't really believe I can't remember exactly what happened. And I said something to someone. And then my friend, my very best friend over here, she looked at me and I says, oh yeah, but I don't know if that was a message because I didn't have my cards. And she just looked at me and she says, no, hey, I seen you gone at this more than once. You don't need your cards. Yes, that was a message for them. And, it's just sometimes if I were to come next to you and tell you whatever, yeah, and you don't know me from nowhere, you probably would get freaked out. So.
Or even, I've seen mediums do readings and they'll take a pen and they start just scribbling and doodling. And I believe that's their crutch. Are they really seeing something? Every once in a while, they'll maybe write a word and they'll say the word. But the cards are in front of us when you show us the cards. And a lot of times they do connect. And I'll share a few episodes back. You brought something to my attention about what was going on in my life. And it was accurate. And it was, I think it was something about a child, if I remember correctly, and how you phrased it. And that's kind of where it went. And I explained why. Are
But you
you,
know,
I
I'm
just,
sorry.
yeah, I'm just curious, like when you hear in your head these messages, do you know where it's coming from on the other side? Or is it a female? I got a male, I'm getting a message, or you're just getting messages from spirit. You have no idea what it is. Here it is. I don't know where it came from. Use it any way you choose.
Me, I always ask my guides. And at one point, there were so many people talking all at once, they were getting me confused. So me, I put Michael, the Archangel Michael at the door, like I call him. I put him at the door of I open a channel. Before I started reading, I will open my channel, and I will put Michael at the door and I will say, okay, don't make me look like an idiot here. Send it one at a time and, like control. So no, it's not everybody coming in all at once.
Gotcha.
Sometimes I will give messages to people, and what I'm saying, they will just look at me and they will say, oh, that's my mother, that's my grandmother, or, like somebody in the family said this. So by being a channel, if you wish, then yes, these people could come in. And yes, they could provide them with the information that they need.
But you don't know what it all means. It's up for us to figure it out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
'Cause-
Me, it's like I always say, because I raised so many kids, I always put things within image because this is what people understands better. I always give example with all of these different images, if you wish. Maybe this is why I use cards and I interpret images, because it's easier for me to give example to people, because people understand with example. And sometimes, well, I will say something and this is in the beginning, way in the beginning, I would say something and people would say to me, they took it the way they wanted to hear it. And I didn't really want to ruffle their feathers and I wouldn't really. And today I'm saying, no. This is not what I told you. This is what you want to understand. But this is not what I'm saying to you. It all comes out to what the conversation we had before of, like you get messages, but you don't want to hear them. Me, I read a medium once and she was interpret and I said, you want to read your own cards or you want to listen to what I need to tell you? If you're going to change everything that I'm saying so it fits better your boat, but this is not what you need to hear, don't lose my time. Basically,
Well, some of us choose to apply it to our
Yeah.
lives, others don't, but you're not going to know what it means, right? How do you know? Because it's not your life. Here's a message. You get it, you pass it
Yeah.
on. You really don't know what it means. It could be something
No.
very specific. And you're like, I don't know, this is what I got. And you could say it to somebody else, and they're like, oh my gosh, I know exactly what that means.
They will come back with it. If the person is not taking it the right way, if they're taking it on the side that they want to hear it, they come back with a word. They come back with a word and they come back with a word, just a word.
Okay.
And then I will look at the person saying, no, you got this wrong. This is not what they're saying. This is what I keep hearing. Focus on what I'm hearing. Don't focus on what you want to hear. You know what I'm trying to say here?
100%. And I think so many people probably say to you, I want to hear from my aunt. And there's no guarantee that person is coming through because, as I understand it, wasn't meant to be, didn't have a message for you, wasn't the right time. 6 months from now, they may come shining through with something, but you can't control that.
And I went to see a medium at one point also where she had all these people. And she says, my Lord, you come in with so many people and everything. But there was one person. It always depends on the energy of the person that wants to talk to you. Because you could have like 5 people that wants to talk to you right now. But you could have your mother, father, godmother, grandfather, and your aunt. They all want to speak to you right now. You all need to hear from all of them. This is what you need. But your dad is what needs to tell you something more important than all the other 4 of them. So he's going to shine.
Yep.
And that's what you're going to get.
Because the message needs to get through to you.
Yes. And it's the thing that, and it's always what you need to focus on the most, because sometimes people, it's always my job, my kids, my spouse, like most likely this is the three things. So some people could be stuck in the rut in their jobs and they're focusing job, 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 job. While they're focusing on the job, they're not seeing that the spouse is getting left over and is starting to see somebody else in the bleacher because you're not taking care of him. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So me, what's going to come out is it's not the job that you want to know. It's going to be the husband that you're leaving by himself, where you're focused on the wrong thing.
Gotcha. Complete what you're saying, Diane, completely clear. It's
Yeah.
like, there's a reason the messages come through. It might not be the one you're looking for. It might not even be the category, the topic that you're looking for. It's what you need to hear.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
I know we've done this before. Do you want to just give an example of how this works? Use me again as a guinea pig. I'm fully transparent. I'll tell you if I got nothing. If it's not connecting with me, if it is, I'm going to tell you. I have nothing to hide.
Absolutely. Okay. I got, again, 3 cards out. Again, these are the oracle cards. The oracle cards, it's a deck that anybody could go and get. I've referred them to a lot of people, and they change. Once you start playing with these cards, you don't have to do anything. You just need to read the messages. Me, I interpret images, but there's always a message at the bottom of it. And like when people have issues, with their energy, they have issues, they're in a rut. And I say, go get yourself angel cards and read a message every day, and you will be surprised. And everybody that did it has it, like they see it, like they see the changes in them. They start looking at things differently. So me, I always start my reading before doing tarot, always with the oracle cards. First of all, it tells my angels that I'm ready to work, and it calms things down. Me, I know for a fact, because I have this in my throat, I have this lump in my throat. I'm most likely going to tell you something today that, it's going to go, okay. Usually
do you have that right now? I want to know.
Yes, I do.
Oh, fantastic. You don't need to read me. I'm kidding.
Oh, okay. It's just it's sometimes something that you either don't want to hear, or something, like a pill hard to swallow kind of a thing. Okay. Oh, change in direction. You're focusing on the wrong way. This is what's wrong with you. Wrong with you. I'm not saying something is wrong with you, but right now, why you're confused, you're not looking at the right place. It's like they have a plan for you up there. Okay, they have a map. They have a plan. You could see it right now. They have a plan. They have a map for you. It's all, they're getting all, and it's a woman that's taking care of you up there. And she has this thing. You're going to be doing this, whatever. And you're saying, oh, no. Let's go try this over there. And you're not going in the right place. This is why you're confused. Okay, so right now, you're confused. What do you want me to say? I could tell you something else, but it is what it is. You want to do something, but you want to do something else, and you don't know which side to go on. And it's like, because your brain is telling you one thing and your heart is telling you something else, and you do not know where to go.
Do you know what the topic is? Is it career? Is it personal?
It's a project, because it's a baby again. And it's regarding a project, something that you cherish. Me, again, when I see a child, it's either a project or it is a baby, unless you're telling me somebody's pregnant and I'm telling you a baby's coming in. So if you didn't put your seed anywhere to be having a baby right now, it's a project, okay? It is not, we had the discussion before with a child, has nothing to do with a child. It's really having to do, there's a project. And you have a guardian angel, you have I'm saying your mother, but you have a woman up there that's taking care of you. And
so
right now,
in terms of project, I'm about to launch one.
Oh, okay.
I've been sitting on it since 2019 and never just moved it forward. And I'm pretty much next week going to start moving it forward career-wise.
Okay.
The entire time, life got in the way. So I just never moved it forward. However, the entire time, my gut was screaming, this is going to be big. What are you doing? Keep going, man. Keep going. And I would say,
Mhm.
yeah, I'll get to it. I'll get to it. I don't even have a doubt that it's, and again, it's a business idea project. Weird as it sounds, and I never do this to myself. I'm just very humble. Something tells me this is gonna like it's gonna be huge. It's gonna be like this is why I never gave it up. I always moved it forward, but very slow because life got in the way. I'm thinking that that's that project that you're talking about.
Okay, because that was your past card. So this is something that's already passed, that you were confused about where to go with this. Okay. Presently, what's going on with you? They're asking you, what do you really desire? What do you really want? Because moving forward, you have to leave something behind. You know,
Hmm.
and I say this often enough to people: you cannot go forward in life full speed ahead, looking like this with your head in the back. Am I missing anything? Did I forgot something? You know what I'm saying? You said you got yourself a project. You've been cherishing this for years. Stop wondering, did I forget anything? Is there something that I could have done differently? Stop it.
You're right.
Stop it with
And
that.
that's what's held me back because I would just look like, maybe I should do that. Just do it. All the pieces will fall into place. Just go.
Exactly.
Just go. Which that's what I'm doing.
Because over here I see you looking towards the back, and which is beautiful. You have everything that you need. But while you're looking in the back and while you're wondering and while you're doubting, because you are still doubting, even if you're fully secure, okay, I'm going with this, that, there's still this little thing in you that is still going, oh, why me? What if, what if I forgot? What if it does? What if? Who gives a shit?
Just
You know
do
what
it.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just freaking
Yep.
do it. Because
Yep.
until you're doing it, because you're waiting until this is all lunch, your wings are stuck. Because of the doubt, because of the waiting, because of everything. It's like your wings are not open, they're stuck.
I got
So
it.
by you going at it, and we'll see what the third card was going with this, by you going at it, it's going to spread your wings, because right now your wings are stuck. They're beautiful. Don't get me wrong. They're gorgeous, but they're
Hmm.
not open. They're there. Stop looking in the back. Stop wondering if you forgot anything. Have
Just
confidence
go.
in yourself and
Hmm.
jump.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Which is where I'm at this point. It's just like, let's go. See what happens.
And honestly, and we all tried things that didn't work as we wished. We all did that in our lives,
Sure.
you know, and we're still in front of each other right now, and nobody's dead about this. So who gives a heck? You know,
I got you.
just
That's well, you know what it was? That was the old me. This is the new me.
yeah,
The new me has been a work in progress for the last 3 years. So the old me always worried about what if I forgot this, got to do that. The new me is like, yeah, let's just go. Let's go. It's going to
yeah.
be okay. You forget something, we tweak it, we move it around. And I know life in general, like you said before, like what direction you want. What do you want out of life? I already know. I could write it down. There's 3 key things. They're personal, but I know. I already have it. I know where I want to go. I know what I need. Just got to get there, or I need the things to materialize around me.
Or you just have to walk one step at a time, one in front of the other,
Oh yeah.
and don't want to control, leave the control. You have your 3 steps. What if within your 3 steps, you didn't put number one? It's supposed to be number three, and you're focusing on number one.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
just start walking,
I got
and
you.
things will get into place. Okay. Now, as your third card, relationships. Um, Good thing. The you obviously, I'm sorry to say it this way, you obviously, geez, sorry for my English, had a bad one. Right now, I would say that you're willing to give you're willing and it's going to be good. You're willing to give it a try. You're willing, there's going to be a new relationship in, because see me, I see it as a new relationship that you're ready to jump on. That's going to be very good for you. But, and there's a but there, forget about the past. In the sense, don't go back comparing. Don't go back and saying, oh, why may, what if I do this again? Well, if you do it again, if you get yourself, your 2 feet in the same relationship, in the same pattern, if you wish, because you didn't understand something, go back to the drawing board, do your plus and minuses. Go with me, I always say to people, when you're back over here, because I see you wearing well, when you lost clothes, you know, like with the mourning clothes, it's like you're still mourning a last relationship. Don't go in a new one mourning the last one, because what are you saying to the new one? You know, nobody wants to be in nobody else's slippers. So on that note, what I would say to you, it would be, do your plus and minuses, and start from the first woman in your life, your mother, plus and minuses, and all the women that counted in your life, plus and minuses of these people, and go look. And often enough, like me, I said my first marriage, I married the faults of my father that the woman wouldn't have been able to live with. And now I'm married to the quality, the faults of my father always, but the ones that the grown woman can live with. So go with this and go see, and most likely all of them have the same thing that you don't want anymore. So if you don't want it anymore and you see that this one has it, dear God, you know you're going for, you know. So, but if that person doesn't have it, then you're scot-free. You buckled, you buckle. You understood.
What you're saying is on target.
Okay.
And I'm in some relationships, but not the relationship at this moment.
Okay.
But I know what you said, that relationship is going to show up.
Yeah.
And you're not the only one to say that. Astrologers have told me that, psychics have told me that. And they also said, and this is even last year, they also said that that's going to happen sometime in the second half of this year. And now you're saying it. So
Yep.
seems like that's true.
And if you want it to go good, remember, nothing comes out free. Okay. There's always work to it. I've been told this last week when we finished talking to each other. So it's just, you don't just go sit on your ass. I'm sorry to say it this way, but sit on your ass saying, okay, this has all the qualities. This is all what I think, and sit on your kazoo and just go with this. There's work to be put in. You got to do your due diligence. You got to go and put out the effort to get the reward back. Okay. Just remember that, and remember to finish with the old relationship. You know, don't just dust the things under the carpet, because at some point spring will come and you're still going to have to do cleaning. So you don't want to have to do this 6 months within the relationship.
The door for the past relationship has to be shut and locked.
Yes, exactly. And, you know, and the things that you needed to deal with, dealt with. Okay.
Yes.
So very important for this one.
You're right. And I'm not just saying that. If you put it in the context of my life, you're right.
Okay.
And again, I'm just backing up what you said about a new relationship. I've been hearing that. I've heard that from others. And it's very specific. It's not like, yeah, well, somebody's going to materialize in your life sometime. No, they're saying this second half of 2023. And some of them said that last year.
And see how beautiful, because you could see, people don't understand, we're zooming right now, and you see, but look, it's a unicorn. Unicorn is something very mystic, but it's very magical. This is why I'm saying, but look how are you holding on to it. You're gonna hold on to their life. So which means, it tells me it's somebody that's going to get you out of your comfort zone also. Okay, so be prepared to be out of your comfort zone, but this is going to be one hell of a ride.
In a good way, in a good way.
In a very good way. as long as you clean up the old
Yes.
relationship.
So final thought on this. Somebody also said, somebody intuitive said, you need to find somebody outside of your culture. You need to not the same feel that you're used to. Something like you just said, something completely different is going to be like, wow, that's fantastic. Oh, I just, that's interesting. You're interesting. I just learned something every day, something different.
It's like me when I was 14. Since I was 14 years old, always said, my family's American on my mother's side. We're Canadian over here. And I was a little girl. And I always said, I'm going to move to the States and marry an American. Said that all my life. And turned out that I stayed here, married a Canadian, whatever. Got divorced. Now, wouldn't you believe? I moved provinces. I always said my area code in my family is 603, like in New Hampshire. Over here, it's 613. And when I move and you go on the 401, the auto room, it says crossing the border, the Ontario border. So I am crossing a border. So when I was since 14 years old and saying, I'm going to move to the States and marry an American, what I did basically was move to Ontario and got with an Englishman, because my man is a pure English, which I'm pure French. Sometimes you gotta check these things.
If you said this to me, and we're out of time, but if you said this to me 5 years ago, I would say, I don't know about that. I'm comfortable, with certain people, everybody just wants to feel comfortable. Now I'm like, bring it on. I don't care where they're from, as long as I can understand what they're saying,
Well, you'll learn if it's French. Don't worry. He did.
Well, there you go. How do I know you do this thing every Tuesday? You do a video and I think it's for your group on Facebook. Tell us about that.
It's everybody. It's my page on Facebook. It's called Diane Gauthier, Messages for the Soul. You see it bilingually, Messagère de l'univers also. 7:30 for the English people. If you go there, and it's accessible to everybody, and if you do go there at 7:30, you will see me. I have 3 numbers that I posted the day before, and numbers that popped out of my head, and you will choose the one that appeals to you, and then listen to the message. You could, if you miss it at 7:30, you could always go back and listen to it, and you will be surprised at what comes out of there. And in that little 12 minutes, like with those 3 numbers, and it's like one card could mean 3 things for different people, because many people are watching this. Or you could Google my name. I found out that if you Google my name right now, we'll take you to these podcasts and also to my page. So
Gotcha.
Not a problem with that.
How do we spell your last name?
Gauthier.
Got it.
And it's Diane with 1 N.
Yep. Fantastic talking with you. I always learn something about this whole process and the messages. I'm going to say what you said is, and you don't know me from, we even previous talk about any of this. It's true what you said. And I need to leave that behind before that's showing up, but that is showing up pretty soon as far as what I'm hearing and what I've heard before. And that even backs it up.
It's going to show up as fast as you finish with the past.
Yes.
Just saying. You want it sooner, work on it faster.
Duly noted, and I am.
Okay, perfect.
All right.
You.
Yep.
Everything
Diane,
is under control.
thank you so much. And next week, I think we might even just take calls. So that should be a lot of fun.
Yes, absolutely. I'm ready for it.
Okay. Thanks. We'll talk soon. Okay.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
Mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned.
This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.